join me in the Pledge of Allegiance?
United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. You'll notice the site's already dug. All right, so we figured we'd get started with the digging just in case anyone changed their mind. So that's why we're doing the ceremony now. After nearly a decade of planning, persistence, and partnership, we are finally here. Breaking ground on a project. Thank you. We're breaking ground on a project that will shape the future of our community and the Foster Police Department. Before we begin, I'd like to extend a warm welcome to some of the distinguished guests we have joined here. Senator Reed, Representative Seth Magaziner, Speaker of the House Joseph Shekarchi, and Representative Mike Chippendale. Sorry, and Senator Gordon Rogers. Yeah, I'll pay for that later.
Calling in next week.
This is a proud and historic moment for our town. This will be the first municipal building in Foster in many, many, many years. A milestone that reflects our shared commitment to investing in the people and services to make Foster such a special place to live. Our police department has served faithfully in this town since 1928, originally with volunteers. They had been operating out of a building that was originally built in the 1820s. 1824, I believe, was the exact date. That building wouldn't even be habitable today as a home. And yet, it's been the headquarters for the dedicated men and women who protect our residents day in and day out. This will give them a place to continue serving our community. I want to take a moment to thank some of the people that helped bring this project to life. To the Police Building Committee, your dedication, vast knowledge, and careful planning made this day possible. To our past police chiefs and our current chief, Gina Lindell, thank you for your leadership, patience, and commitment to your department and this town. To our past town councils who really got the ball rolling, we appreciate that. For our great community, for voting to approve the $3 million bond and having faith in this town council with getting things accomplished. Everyone here has a role in making this happen, including our town hall staff, our volunteer boards, and our DPW department. And to our current town council, thank you for helping me and Foster make this day possible. Now, you may notice something a little different here today. You know, we don't have shiny shovels, okay? And that's by design. Foster has always been a town built on volunteerism, including the original police officers, and our firefighters, and our board members, and countless residents who give their time and energy to make this community stronger. These well-worn shovels represent who we are: practical, hardworking, and proud to pitch in when it matters. This groundbreaking isn't just about ceremony, it's about community. The best days for the town of Foster are ahead. It's now my pleasure to welcome to the podium someone who truly represents the spirit of Foster, not only because he lives here, but because he continually delivers for our community. Representative Mike Chippendale has been a steadfast advocate for our town and for public safety. His leadership and commitment were instrumental in securing a $1 million grant that helped make this new police station possible. Please join me in welcoming our neighbor and friend, Rep. Mike Chippendale.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, President Plouffe. Steve has thanked all the right people, so I don't have to talk about any of that. But we're standing here on the most visible corner in the town of Foster. And knowing that our public safety building, our police department is going to be here where everyone can see it, where they stop at the only stoplight in town, is going to add and breathe a new life into our town. Hopefully, it will result in the opposite of the broken window theory up and down Route 6. We'll see things prospering and growing. It'll be an upward movement for our entire town. You know, I remember when I was first elected and the chief of police at the time invited me to come meet with him. But unfortunately, due to my physical limitations, I wasn't able to get up the stairs because they were just too old, too narrow, and too small. That was the first time I experienced the Foster Police Department. The second time was when I was with my son in Boy Scouts, and we were doing a tour of the police department, and Sergeant Sam Mooney at the time was showing them the jail cell, because what little boy doesn't want to see a jail cell? And the door came off of the roller, and Sam, Big Sam, had to stop that giant door from falling down onto the ground. That was the state of our police department, where the good and honorable men and women of our police department worked every single day with one bathroom, a shared municipal kitchen that was basically in the middle of everything. Now we're modernizing. Now we're going to have a public safety complex that we can be proud of. And the people of Foster did step up. That bond, that $3 million bond, was a big ask in Foster. This was before COVID, though. And then COVID happened. And as we all know, the cost of everything became much more expensive. So that $3 million wasn't cutting it. But the men and women on the planning, on the police station board, the building committee rather, and the people on the town council got down with the finance director, the town clerk, and worked as hard as they could to find that money. And we did. Everyone worked tirelessly to make sure that this happened, because the people of Foster put their trust in our town council to make it happen. I'm so glad that we're all here today. I'm glad to see such a wonderful crowd here to see this groundbreaking, which is such a banner day for our town. You're going to hear from a lot of people. I'm going to quiet down now. I'm going to introduce a colleague of mine, the Speaker of the House, who helped me when I was fiercely advocating for that extra $1 million that we needed so badly for this town. And he understood the importance of public safety and what it means to a small town like ours, and he stepped up. So in that spirit, I would like to introduce my colleague, Speaker of the House, Joseph Shekarchi.
Thank you. Thank you, Leader Chippendale. More importantly, thank you, Mike. You know, it's no secret I'm a Democrat. It's no secret Mike's a Republican. But you know what? Mike's my friend. And let me tell you something. He advocates for this town and for his district like no other representative. There are 75 of us. Nobody advocates more for their district than Mike Chippendale. He fiercely wanted this money. He worked very hard. This was a challenge grant money. You had to compete with other towns. And he competed very hard. He worked extremely hard. I think, if I'm not mistaken, it was the city of Woonsocket also wanted the same amount of money. But Mike wasn't going to have it. Mike outworked him. He was out. It's true. He outworked him. He outsmarted them, and he did very well. And then he calls in a secret weapon. He always does. He called in my good friend Joe Walsh from the electric union to say, we got to get this for Foster. Among the many things that Joe comes to the General Assembly, asks for his union. He's a strong advocate for electricians and public safety as well. But he came there, he said, this is going to be for Foster. And he said, I know what you're thinking. He says, there's only Republicans up in Foster. I said, Joe, I don't think that way. That there's good people in Foster, and they deserve it. And Mike is right, that public safety is near and dear to my heart. Because before I was in the General Assembly, I worked for the Fraternal Order of Police for several years, and I saw what the men and women who put on a uniform do every day. And I see the sacrifices they make and the danger they put themselves in. And when they leave their home every single day, yes, gentlemen, ladies over there, their families don't know if they're gonna come back. And that's very real today. So that makes it easy. When you're allocating very few and precious tax dollars, it makes it easy when you know it's gonna be spent to give you the best ability to do your job every day, protecting the fine citizens of Foster. Thank you very much. It's my pleasure to be here, and it's an honor to introduce your state senator, Senator Gordon Rogers.
Thank you, everybody, for coming out today. I'm going to start off by saying I did have a speech written. It was pretty good, but I'm probably going to maybe at the ribbon cutting, do this because there's a lot of adjectives and normal political speech to it. It's a little bit different for me because I grew up in this town. So I'm going to start from that aspect, and something I realized this morning thinking about how this whole thing came about. I do first want to thank the state and the federal legislation committee group that helped fund this. I want to thank the volunteer fire departments, the police department, the town council past, and especially the current town council, because they really put their heads to the stone and really pushed to get this done the way you see it today. So, Forster. Like I said, I represent 4 towns, but you know, I can read that speech in any of the 3 other towns, but this is a little bit different for me. I grew up in this town. I went to the elementary school you see on the corner. When I was a little kid, back in the 70s, when you know I'd go with my parents down to the town clerk's office. Believe it or not, it was in the police station. That same house that was 150 plus years old. You'd walk in the front door. You had a choice: left to the dispatch window, or right to the town clerk's window. So as times changed, I joined the fire department. Been a member for over 45 years. I've seen every entity in this town get some kind of expansion and growth. From my Payne School, elementary school expanded since I was a kid. I've seen each fire department either build a brand new building through volunteerism or add additions on to each 3 of those fire departments. I've seen a brand new rec field go in. I've seen an original rec field get built with a meeting center that the Boy Scouts did through volunteerism. I've seen the Ambulance Corps get a Champlain grant and expand on that. Like I said with the libraries, I've seen the DPW have 2 additions in my lifetime and expand. I've seen the Town Hall get a brand new building. 1990, 91, I think Gordy would be able to speak to that, where they took that town clerk's office and they had some offices in the bed and they got a brand new building. But the police department hasn't changed in my over 60 years of life. It still stands the same. That same staircase out of all the departments, that has stood still in time. It's a morale issue. Over the years that I've been involved, I got on the council in 2010. Shortly after that, I was on the building committee when we started moving forward with this. It took a very long time. Like was said in the past, COVID hit, it delayed it, but finally we are here. And I've seen the police officers over this time. I can tell you, I've been in that building. I'm the DPW director for the town. When I tell you, you go down in that building, it would be amazed. You can still see porcelain for the old knob and tube wiring. You've got a huge riveted boiler tank sitting in that basement that's been there for I don't know how long, probably from its original ground. Even our old town meeting house that has the oldest historical record of continuing town meetings was jacked up in the early 70s, moved out into the Fairfield, we have the fairgrounds, and a brand new foundation was put underneath it, and it was repositioned back onto that new foundation. But the police department hasn't changed one bit. This is big for the town. So with that being said, I again want to give thanks to the police department for putting up. I've heard many times, I speak to you on a daily basis, I'll believe it when I see it. How many years have I heard that? So it is finally happening. Again, I want to thank the federal and state delegation for the support, because we wouldn't have been able to do this due to the COVID delay. The building committee, Joe Walsh, Gordy Brayton, Brendan Mara, past councils and current councils. Hopefully I got them all. Usually I do forget some and I'll find out later. But at this point, I want to move it on to, I believe, Senator Jack Reed would be the next one coming up. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, Senator Rogers. It is really a privilege to be here with you today. And it is an opportunity to celebrate, but also to pay tribute to the citizens of Forster, because you stood up and you put your shoulder to the wheel, and you're now providing to your gallant and very, very distinguished police department the facilities that they deserve. The facilities that will make their job more effective and efficient for the town of Forster. So this is a great day in Forster. I want to recognize Steve Plouffe. Thank you, and all the council members for what you do every day. Thank you. Also, as Joe Walsh was mentioned, as chair of the building committee, I can remember sitting down with Joe and Denise DeFranco and talking about what Forster needed. And they said, we need a new police department. And then they took me across the street and showed me the existing police department. When it came out, I thought to myself, boy, I wonder when the next stagecoach comes by. That's enough. We need a new building. And we worked very hard with Joe and with Denise, and of course with your police chief. Thank you so much, Gina, for the great work you've done, Chief Lindell. Thank you. And yeah, please. And I'm also delighted to be here with Congressman Magaziner, Speaker Shekarchi, and Representative Chippendale and Senator Rogers. Thank you very, very much. It's all been said about the building. It needs to be replaced. We've stuck together, we've worked together, and a result of both the community's will and the cooperation of state officials and federal officials, we're at this groundbreaking. In terms of our federal support, we were able to provide the state with $1.5 billion of ARPA funding, and wisely, with Senator Rogers and Representative Chippendale and the Speaker, $1 million of those dollars were given to Forster for this development. In addition to that, we've been supporting the Forster Police Department through the COPS grant funding. About $120,000 worth of equipment has been given to the Forster Police Department over the last several years. And this is a great program that recognizes the sacrifices that our police officers make every day, and along with their families. Thank you very, very much for what you do. And finally, some good news. Finally, some good news from my other place of business. Just this week, the Agriculture Appropriations Bill passed and was signed into law. And it contains a $1 million grant that Forster's fully qualified for. My office will be working hand in hand with town officials to make sure you get the money and get it quickly. And now it's a great pleasure for me to introduce my colleague in the House and a great advocate for Forster and all of Rhode Island, Seth Magaziner. Seth, please.
Thank you, Jack, for your leadership in Washington and here in Rhode Island. To all of the elected officials, the building committee, the town council, everyone involved in making this project possible, all of the contractors, the unions, thank you for everything that you do. I wish I brought my 4-year-old son, Max, here with me, because he would have gotten a huge kick out of this. His heroes are behind me, but for all of us here, our heroes are standing over there, and we want to thank the Foster Police Department and Chief Lindell for all of your work. We all know Foster's a rural community, but it's important that people understand you've got two major arteries coming through this town, right? And you also have a large geographic area that this relatively small department has to serve. So it's a challenging job, I'm sure. It's not an easy job, but it's incredibly important, not just to the town, but for the entire state. So thank you very much, all of you, for what you do. As a result of the challenging nature of police work in the town of Foster, it's important that you have the very best, the best facility, the best equipment in order for you to be able to do this work. That's why we're so excited that this new police station is finally breaking ground. And that's why the community has come together to support it and to support you. As has been said already, it takes a village, it takes a lot of people working together to make this possible. This is an important milestone, but it's only the first step. I have put in a grant request on the House side for $475,000 to upgrade the town's emergency services radio system. You would be surprised how expensive these radio systems are now. This is an issue that a lot of towns are having. It is passed out of the Appropriations Committee on the House side. We're waiting for a floor vote and hoping that we have one soon as part of the Commerce, Justice, Science Appropriations Bill. I'm also a member of the Homeland Security Committee in the House of Representatives, and through that, have co-sponsored a bill called the Invest to Protect Act that would expand the COPS program, expand funding specifically for communities that have smaller police departments. Because again, these smaller communities may not have the same resources as some of the big cities, but that doesn't mean that they don't have more than their share of the work to do. So we need to make sure that that federal support not only continues, but is enhanced. So, with that, this is the time to celebrate the police department here in Foster, but also celebrate the entire community coming together to do the right thing. So thank you all. It's an honor to be here with you today.
Thank you. I'd like to introduce our hometown hero, Chief Gina Lindell.
Thank you, Town Council President Plouffe. Welcome to everybody, friends, neighbors, distinguished guests. Thank you for showing. I also want to say hello and thank you to all my brothers and sisters that are other first responders that also came. There's no I in team, and we work very closely with fire and rescue, and I want to thank them for their support as well. We are here to officially break ground, not just on the new police station, but on a new era for our town and community. This began as a shared vision many years ago, and now it's finally a reality. I want to personally thank the dedication, insight, and patience of the many individuals that came together to make this day possible. Thank you to all that committed to the progress and well-being of every citizen in our beautiful town. This is truly a symbol of what we can achieve when we work towards a common goal. This police station will be a place where the officers can work safely and where all of the residents can come without prejudice. It will represent a safe place for all who enter, and we collectively, as the Foster Police Department, will be here for every resident 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. As we dig the earth, let's remember that the future of our community depends on our ability to push boundaries and embrace innovation. Today is proof of what we can accomplish together, and that there truly is no I in team. Thank you. And now I'm proud to gather the folks that made this day possible to officially break the earth that will soon be the home of the new Foster Police Department. Thank you.
One, two, three.